Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a little walk and talk. We're going to talk about the beautiful day out here, not a plane in the sky. Yeah, that's right, guys. I have been looking everywhere here in Cincinnati. This is a heavy traffic route for planes. It is 5 o'clock in the evening, 5 p.m., July 19th, 2024, out here on my little walking trail. And there have been no planes. They are still grounded. So if you had seen my video last night, we were talking about the CrowdStrike cybersecurity company, the IT company, that had put in some kind of update into Microsoft software that has affected literally everything around us. I've been listening on the news on my way out here, and they were talking, there's cash-only stores, guys. Cash-only stores around here. One of them had gone to Starbucks, and they were cash-only. Another guy they had on was talking about a gas station where they had cash-only. Apparently there's several all around Cincinnati that are accepting cash-only right now. They're working on a fix. I keep hearing that they're working on a fix, but they're still having issues. I have been keeping my eyes in the sky. There have been no planes all day. All day. I know that Cincinnati Airport is rough right now. They keep talking about different issues that are going on. Things that I guess Delta seems like it was the most impacted. But yeah, guys, I'll tell you, it's a crazy situation. Somebody else had said they had gone to an ATM on, it was 700 WLW at about 4:30 in the afternoon. So if you want to check that or hear their conversation, that's where it was coming from. But they were talking about gas stations, hospitals having issues, hospitals not being able to do some things. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Wanted to come out here out in the open to see if maybe we'd see any planes, as to where some, they're saying, have been able to get working. They also had someone on that is trying to get home to see his mom because she has cancer real bad, and he's saying he'll do anything to get to her. And that story, when I heard that story, I was like, we need to start taking this seriously. I got my mutilated Buc-ee's mug, drinking Walmart's Great Value 100% Columbia. Needed something a little strong for this conversation. As you guys mostly know, we don't normally talk too much about things like this on the channel, but I like to keep people informed. I like to maybe not give a full opinion of what I think about the situation, but I know that a lot of you guys out there are affected by this, and I just wanted to chat a little bit about this. I'm going to tell you a little story, something that happened to me. I never really thought I would talk about this to anybody, didn't really know what to think. So if you guys remember, if you watched our last video, I went to Costco the other day. Well, I tried to use my bank card, and it wouldn't let me use my bank card. And I don't know, didn't know what the deal was. This was about a week ago. And anyway, how you doing? And it rejected my card twice. But it was kind of weird because it said approved, and then after it was all said and done, it just didn't accept the card. Guy came over, he said, well, there might be something wrong with your card. Checked my bank after I left, and everything was fine. They didn't even have a record of it being used, which I thought was kind of funny. And I had been using my card for the past few days after that. I wanted to make sure everything was working with the card, everything with the chip and all that stuff. Well, I went to pay my bill for Verizon, for my phone bill online, and it wouldn't go through. It would not go through at all. And yeah, it was pretty strange. I tried it a couple times. I had gone, at this point, I actually went to Fifth Third Bank to try and fix the problem. And they told me that there was nothing wrong, that they said it might have been something with the system. So I don't know if this is all a coincidence. A lot of things have happened this week. a lot of different things. And as most of us know, the different events that have happened over the last 7 days, it's been a lot. This being the icing on the cake. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's crazy. You know, I know we always talk about making sure. I'd make sure that you have some cash. Can't even remember if I mentioned it or not, but in that radio story, they were talking. Somebody went to an ATM machine and they had said that something was wrong with their card, and there wasn't. They just couldn't get money out, and they were saying that the banks were having problems. Of course, this morning they said that American banks were not having any issues. Well, here we are. So I don't know. Might be a wise idea. You get a chance to go to your bank, maybe get out a little bit of cash. We're definitely dealing with some issues around here. So it's kind of a follow-up of yesterday's video. I do have some cash, and I'm going to be holding on to some. I'm going to be holding on to a little bit, not much, a little bit at a time. You never want to hold on to too much cash. But yeah, this could be a bigger deal than I think maybe a lot of people want to believe, even myself. Go off the path here a little bit. There's a lot of people jogging and riding their bikes. Might be a little shaky. I'm using my Sony camera today. Some of the construction site here where they're building this condo complex down here. If you see down here, there's that house that they were building. And I think people were right. That we got a lot of comments on that video that I did down here. It's probably a couple weeks ago down here. That's probably a clubhouse. And I think what they're building outside of that is a pool. I don't know. We'll do a construction update as we get further down there. So I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't had a chance to look at a lot of comments as to where I am filming this video as that video is really coming out. For point of reference, I filmed that video at about noon. It is probably it's probably a few minutes after 5 right now. Still no planes, guys. And I am looking. If I find one, I will point one out. But guys, I'm not kidding. This is where a lot of planes come circling in to land at Cincinnati Airport, and they take off going that way. Haven't seen one. Not one all day. I can only imagine what Cincinnati Airport looks like right now. Now, after reading several stories, after reading several articles on different airports, it looks like Atlanta is getting hit pretty hard. They don't know what to do with people. People are just sleeping in the aisles, I guess. I've kind of experienced something, not a cybersecurity thing, but I kind of experienced that where there was a lot of cancellations and delays in Orlando one time where people were literally sleeping in the aisles, and it was no fun. And I can only imagine with all of these flights being canceled, I don't know, guys. It's got to be really tough. Our thoughts and prayers are with everybody involved. Let us know down in the comments anything. I know I've read a few comments from the video that I put out last night. It does seem like a lot of people have been affected. Some people weren't able to do any banking. It's kind of funny. That was the one thing they were kind of hinting at this morning, was that it wasn't affecting American banks. Well, it seems like it is. It seems like it is. And with my story, what has been going on, you know, because I wanted to tell the story with Costco and then paying my phone bill and having the issues with that. Still no issues with the card, but I am able to check my account quite frequently, and I have been. Every couple hours I'm checking my account. And that's something I recommend you do too. Now, as of the recording of this video, CrowdStrike has come out and said that they are implementing a solution, that they have come up with something, I guess a fix. Who knows? It's one of those we'll believe it when we see it type deals. Got the sewers being built over here. You know, I don't really know it's still fresh, guys. It's still the same day. Just wanted to come out here. My main focus of coming out here today was to see if we saw any planes, because they had said that planes were starting to get back on schedule, but on the news they kind of talked otherwise, that Cincinnati Airport was crazy right now with people trying to get flights. And this is where they would come in at. This is where they would cycle around. Most airlines, they're not. Now, this is what the news has been mostly talking about, is airplanes. But let's talk about hospitals for a second. Apparently, there's been some major issues with hospitals, doctors' offices. Again, we talked about banks, stores, gas stations, accepting only cash. Accepting only cash. And yeah, if the system doesn't work, now this is affected, so apparently this has not affected Mac. Okay, so I guess Apple doesn't have anything to worry about. This has affected Microsoft. This was a cybersecurity IT thing that was put into, I guess, Microsoft software. Okay, and as it got sent out, there was something wrong. So we'll just have to see, you know, on how this plays out. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Let us know if you happen to miss our video from last night. Also, let us know of anything around you that has been affected, because this is a serious situation. One thing they also mentioned on the radio was how CrowdStrike stock dropped 11%. I'm surprised it hasn't dropped further than that. It hasn't even been a day. It hasn't even been a full day. Flights were getting canceled this morning, so we'll see what happens. The more and more people find out what happened and were involved, or affected, I should say. Boy, what a difference a week makes. They have really added into this here. There's what everyone believes to be the clubhouse. Got some excavators over there, bulldozers. Looks like they have completely flattened this out. Also, these are water lines. Yeah, they are not messing around, guys. They got a lot of stuff going on back here. Oh, that coffee's good. Coffee's good. What's not good is the situation, guys. It's not. It's not. And I'm going to explain why. So, sure, this was a mistake. This was something that could have been prevented, right? The bad thing about it is, and I guess in some ways it could be a good thing. Okay, that we have seen now what can happen. Okay, we have seen now how dependent we are on the internet and everything going on in between. How it affects our banking, our hospitals, our flights in the sky. It's everything, guys. This is something that we really need to take in and start planning for the future. Now you can say, Dan, well, how do you plan for that? Well, if grocery stores and things like that for at least this brief moment can only take cash, then that kind of tells me, well, better have some cash. People on our channel always talk about that. Always good to have cash in case the system goes down. Well, the system is down and we need to use cash. Now, I haven't been to any stores today. I wasn't going to do a store video like we do, because if something's wrong, or if something, you know, or if they're having issues as well right now, I don't want to be in the middle of that. So I thought I've done a little bit of research on what's going on, listen to some local news stations on what is happening here in Cincinnati, and it's affecting us pretty good, or pretty bad, however you want to look at that. Still no flights, guys. None. No flights. It is about 5:45 now on a Friday night. Flights would be, if I was on this trail, which normally I'm out here earlier, if I was on this trail right now, planes would be flying in and out constantly. I wouldn't even be able to do a video because it would be everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know that. When I come out here, it'll usually be at like 1 in the afternoon, because in the morning time, there's flights constantly. And then here in the evening time, there's flights constantly. And the thing is how do we really prepare for something like this? You know, there's all the little things. Make sure you have a little extra stock on food, because who knows? What if the power goes out? What if the electrical grid goes down? I hate to talk like that, and you know, I'm not like a doom and gloom type prepper here. You know, I'm mostly a save money on this now so that you're not wasting it in the future, but I do like to have a little bit of stock in case something happens, in case a family member or somebody gets sick, or bad weather, or things like this. You might hear some noise in the background there. But I like to have these things. I like to make sure that I can be prepared in most situations. I've got my high-powered microphone on here right now, so, and I did do kind of a brief walk here, so I may be a little winded, but we'll get through this. I have to keep the volume high on this camera as to where if I don't, it'll start picking up all the little sounds like these crickets back in here. Hear them? I can hear them really clear. You know why? Because there's no plane in the sky. It's been a rough week, guys. It's been a rough week. It's all started off with me going to Costco last week. Literally the day after that someone had taken a shot at Donald Trump. And then here a couple days later trying to pay my bill with Verizon, another issue. And at this point I was like, nope, gotta go to the bank. Because originally, I may not have said this from the beginning, but I was trying to handle this stuff online. I recommend that if you're having any issues with your bank, you go straight to the bank. Don't try to handle it online. And the thing was, as I was saying earlier in the video, I had been, to Kroger and Meijer and buying things with my card, no issue at all. And then having to do the Verizon thing, which was only a couple days ago. But my point is that these things were a week ago. Is it ironic now that we're having a global issue? Maybe that's why, who knows? I don't know if we'll ever know. Maybe that's why CrowdStrike, maybe that's why they put this in there. Maybe there were some issues going on. Maybe there was a potential something about to happen, and maybe they, maybe they tried to work it out. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know. But it's out in the air now. Oh my goodness, I hear a plane. I hear a plane. There it is. Hold on. Holy smokes. There it is. You can't see it. It's way up there. You can probably hear it though. That is the first plane I've seen in over 12 hours. Or heard. I did see a little piece of it, but it's way up. There's no way my camera's gonna be able to get that there. I could tell by the trajectory of that plane that is either a plane going through or one that has left Cincinnati Airport. So that's good. Okay, you know what? I mean, just hearing that, I actually feel a little better that there is actually a plane in the sky. Okay, well, I don't know. Things, will hopefully get fixed here soon. Hopefully they're already getting fixed. And at that, this message here is to just make sure everybody is aware and knows what the possibility can happen. Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And it's not that it will go wrong, it's just a saying that the possibility of something that can go wrong will eventually possibly go wrong. I don't know, guys. I don't know what to think about it all. It's like on my way over here, that's why it's good to listen to your local news. Okay, if you're gonna watch the news, it's good to watch some of the locals. Some of the guys on 700 WLW here in Cincinnati, they were talking about their experiences, what had happened here, right? Because people can say, what, and apparently Australia's getting hit pretty hard with this too. Asia's getting hit pretty good with it. So I don't know. They say it's all around the world. All around the world. So whatever happened has affected people all around the world. I also think that there may, switch arms here, I also think there may have been some confusion as to where I don't know, I don't think we really know who specifically is involved, okay? Because some websites, some news stations were calling it Microsoft, some were saying CrowdStrike. Apparently CrowdStrike is the ones who put this cybersecurity protection, or whatever it was, the IT of America, is what I've heard a lot of people call them, that this was something that they had put into the Microsoft software. However, I question, doesn't Microsoft check for this stuff after something like this happens? Don't you throw up a huge firewall and protection of a series of computers to make sure that it doesn't fail those computers first? Okay, so it's kind of sitting here off camera for a second, just waiting for another airplane. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any come into Cincinnati Airport, at least from the western point of Cincinnati here. There have been no incoming flights that I have seen. I may have missed one. I don't know. But I'm not kidding. This is a place where you will always see and hear them constantly. At this time of day, they are flying in. Frontier, Delta, Southwest. Frontier is one that has had major issues. I believe all flights from Cincinnati were canceled or out of Cincinnati. That may have changed, but that's what they were talking about earlier. I believe new information will come out on this. I don't think we will know a lot of the information. I know some people on the channel, I read a couple people were saying, oh, it's a cyber attack and all this stuff. Well, they're saying it's not a cyber attack, but you definitely don't want it to turn into one. You know, I mean, seeing what this is, seeing what has happened, shows me that this can happen anytime. And with the push of a button, it could shut the world down for who knows how long. A day, a week, a month, a year. I don't know. I don't know. It does show how reliant we have all become on the internet and our jobs. There were people that were talking about not being able to go to work today. There were some family members of mine that were not able to, some not necessarily within the company that they work for, but some parts of the company around the country were affected and they were not able to go to work. So, I don't know. It's a scary situation, guys. I know it is. I know a lot of people are probably freaking out about it, and we just have to collect ourselves. No, I guess the reason why I can find such comfort in this is because I've prepared for things like this. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be a long-lasting thing by any means. Excuse me. But if it is, I feel a little better about the situation knowing that at least I have some extra food and things. So I know it doesn't look like it on camera here, but I've actually been out here for over an hour. It's been about 20 minutes since we've seen the last airplane fly over. I actually think that plane heading west, okay, heading like northwest, I actually don't think that was from Cincinnati Airport at all. Because if it was, I could imagine. I don't know. I just don't think so. I will continue to update on these things as we go along. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's all getting fixed. You know, I mean, yeah, airports and everything like that are concerning. At least planes are doing what they have to do and not rushing something, right? And I know that's the most talked about on the channel, but we got to get the hospitals, we got to get all the hospital stuff working. We got to get the banking working. We got to get the stores accepting cards. Although, like I said, might be a good idea to get out some cash just in case this ever happens again. You know, mostly on the channel here, as most of you know, we focus on a lot of store prices, a lot of grocery prices, ways to try and save money in the stores. And we need to continue to do so, but at the same time, I still send the same message. We need to stock up on these sales as we see them. We need to think maybe a little bit differently than a lot of us have been thinking, you know, over the last few years, over the last couple decades, maybe longer. You know, we need to make sure that we are ready for an event like this. Got the little like mini canyon here. I mean, it goes way down there. I know it's hard to see with all the trees and everything, but it really does. It goes down. There's like a little creek that runs down there. It gets kind of dried up though, because you can usually hear it. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. Not sure if I'm going to be putting out another update tonight or not. Me and Jessica have some things going on, and hopefully we're able to do those things. Because who knows? Who knows? You know, I wonder, like, with restaurants, banks, if there's still a banking issue. Just, I don't know, if you leave anywhere, you know, check your local news, check whatever news you can, check, you know, you can watch news on YouTube also. Check to see if they're clearing some of these things up. Make sure wherever you go, you take a little bit of cash with you. Make sure your gas tank is full. Make sure your gas tank's full. I filled up yesterday and I started thinking, I was like, thank goodness. Thank goodness I filled up my gas tank. Not going to be driving a bunch here for the next few days at least until this gets, you know, situated. I had some videos I was going to do where I was going to be doing a little light traveling, you know, outside the city and state area, but not going to do that right now. Wait until it's blown over here per se. It's been about an hour and 10 minutes now. Still not another plane. Still not another plane, but anyway, I'll continue to keep you guys updated on what's going on, at least for around here. Make sure you let us know down in the comments what is happening where you are. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. All right, guys, a little bit of bonus footage here. I made it back to the car. I wanted to show, talk about some of the comments here. It has definitely affected a lot of you. This video has now been out for a little while now, so I wanted to check some here. Some people said it's affected their work. Someone wasn't even able to work today. No planes where you live either. We went to 5 gas stations around noon. They were only taking cash in Naples, Florida. Everybody laughing because of my tinfoil hat that I wore earlier in the video. That's I know. I was like, do something here. I wanted to, for something bad or some terrible situation that I was about to talk about, I wanted to get everybody laughing at first. So looks like it worked. It was pretty funny. I did save the hat too. So let's see. Yeah, one here, and you know what's funny? I read this here and I thought about this for a second. Everybody wanting to go to Windows 11. I mean, yeah, they're always pushing Windows 11, but I don't know about that. People correcting me on the Murphy's Law, even though I put that in a pinned comment. I knew I made that mistake. I don't know why I said Darwin. Yeah, I mean, it does. It looks like it's affected quite a few people on here. I'm not going to go through all of them here. I just wanted to show you, checking the comments here from you guys. And I knew it would. It's all over. It's all over. Different. Oh, that's a bird. I've been sitting in the car here trying to cool off. It's really hot out today. Still no planes. And like I said before, I think that plane was heading west, northwest. And I don't think that one departed from Cincinnati Airport. Don't know for sure. And they could be changing routes or different things like that too, so I don't really know. But still, since we have been watching here since early this morning, only one plane that I have seen even over Cincinnati at all. So, I don't know, guys. Crazy situation.